Today, Friday, the 20th of December 2024, we have some handpicked events to share with you, which will be backed up by some stats and analytics to help you make your picks in the list to boost your winning by a greater percent. And to those of you who want to have access to our handpicked event, which we share to members only, as well as our top 10 or top 15 game prediction based on 1.5 and 2.5 goals, as well as corner kick match prediction event, then of course, you want to make sure to subscribe to the Level 2 Pro membership package plan to start to have access to all of these features to take your winning to the next height. To those of you who want to join, the link is below this video. You want to make sure to navigate and click the link, subscribe to become member of the Level 2 Pro plan to start to have access to all of these with which ought to take your winning to the next height. Also, you can have access to top betting tutorials such as bet winning strategy, which we have shared to members only. As you can see here, we just published this 19 hours ago. Corner kick strategy, of course. Also, we have upcoming weekend soccer match prediction event, never seen soccer match bet strategy, and other match tutorials based on betting, which of course you're going to grab a lot of skills. We also provide huge odds to our members only of the Level 2 Pro plan, like 8 games, as you can see, big league event, top 10 1.5 and 2.5 goals, and so on, which we always release daily as well as especially for the weekends. We also shared games based on big league events to members only. You want to make sure to take advantage of that just by becoming a member of the Level 2 Pro plan. So without wasting time, I'll share with you the game event we have for today, Friday, the 20th. Looking at the first event, we look at Australia in the A-League. We look at Adelaide United against Sydney. For this particular event, the home team have mostly had events, especially in the AL, that is A-League of Australia, where the striking power is very high, scoring 4 to 2 goals and even 3 goals per each event. Its opponent, on the other hand, is also a very high scoring capacity team, scoring 3 goals per each event. And you can see, based on the comparison of these two, in terms of recent event they have met twice this year, where they had 7 goals and 3 goals in each event. This time, of course, both of the two sides still have a good form, especially Adelaide United, which sits on the home place. Looking at the form table for Adelaide United, you're going to see that they actually sit on the 3rd position. Having played 3 events, they have scored 5 and conceding 4. The offense is good and the defense is not that strong. In other words, the poor defense of the home also gives chance for the away to take advantage of goal scoring. Looking at Sydney, which is the away, you're going to see that the performance based on goal capacity is good and the defensive power is not very tough. And looking here at everything in place, we want to look at 2 major picks in full time. For this particular event, of course, both of the two sides are good at offense. And since the defense of both sides are weak, of course, we are looking at both of the two sides to take advantage of each other's defense to try to score. As a result, we look at high shoot or an on target resulting to goals. Due to the weak defense, we want to look at least 1.5 or 2.5 goals to occur in this match in full time. Looking at the next event, we look at England in the Professional Developmental League, Charlton U21 against Swansea City, that's Swansea U21. Looking at the stance performance of this in terms of recent game played by Charlton City, you're going to see that Charlton, of course, they are very good in terms of goal scoring, scoring 6, 3, and 2 goals per each event. Swansea City, on the other hand, have proved that they are very conceding. Looking at that of Charlton U21, on the other hand, you're going to see that based on the recent head-to-head, they had 1 goal scored by Charlton based on recent event. This time, of course, looking at the stand performance of this Charlton based on the home form, you're going to see that Charlton, of course, sits here on the 6th position. They have a very high offensive power. They've had 5 events scoring 16 goals. That's the highest scoring score capacity, and I've considered 12. The defense is also not good. And looking at Swansea, on the other hand, they sit here with a very weak defense. And looking at everything in place, we want to look at 2 major picks in full time. For this particular event, of course, the defensive line of Swansea on the other hand is weak. And looking at the fact that Charlton have a very high offensive power, we are looking at it to take advantage of that weak defense. We look at high shots on and off target by the home team. As a result, we want to look at least 1.5 or 2 goals over to occur in this match in full time. Looking at the next event, we look at Germany in the 3rd Liga, the match between Ingolstadt against Cottbus. For this particular event, the performance of the home team based on recent event they have had have proved to have high offense based on recent gameplay. The opponent, Coach Boots, on the other hand, also is a very high offensive team. And of course, looking at the recent performance, which of course, in terms of form comparison, we are looking at the stands and looking at the home performance of Ingolstadt at home. We are going to see that the home game played performance of Ingolstadt prove that they have a very high offense. They've had 5 game played, 12 goals scored. That's a good offense, and the defense is not tough. Its opponent, on the other hand, Could Boost, of course, is also having an average defense and average offense. And looking at everything in place, want to look at 2 major picks in full time. For this particular event, of course, the home team have very high offense. And since the defense of the away is average and away team also average in terms of offense, both of the two sides want to take advantage of each other. And leading to high impression rate, we are looking at shots on and off target resulting to goals. Therefore, 1.5 goal or 2 goals over is what we want to look at for this event in full time. Looking at the next, we'll look at Germany in the Bundesliga. Bayern Munich against Leipzig. The performance of Bayern Munich based on recent events they've had have proved to be of good stance. They've had games, especially in the CL, that is in the Champions League against Shakhtar Donetsk, where they had a lead 5-1. The opponent, on the other hand, of course, also proved to have a high goal score capacity. And looking at the recent head-to-head they have met, Leipzig played at away, while Bayern Munich at home. 3 goals were scored. This time, Bayern Munich still have a good form in terms of recent stand. And looking at the form table of Bayern Munich based on home game played, you're going to see that they lead this table with 15 goals scored for 5 games and 4 lead. The offensive power is good with also good defense. That of Leipzig, on the other hand, of course, stand here on the 3rd position. They also have good offense and the defense is average. And looking here at everything in place, want to look at 2 major picks in full time. For this particular event, Bayern Munich is a very high offensive team. And the fact that the away defense is not very tough, want to look at 1.5 goal in full time. And also the possibility of Bayern Munich to lead with high offensive power and the defense of the away that not too tough. We are looking at Bayern Munich to either lead in full time, but of course goals probability is one of the best options, since Leipzig also on the other hand want to take revenge of the last head-to-head, which they had to lose by 2-1. So goals probability is one of the safest options. So we are looking at 1.5 goal in full time as one of the major pick, as well as the possibility of 2 goals over. The next event here, we are looking at Wales in the Kremlin North, Prestatyn against Mol Alexandra. In this event, the performance of the home have proved to be very conceding. The defensive line is very, very weak, same way as that of its opponent based on the defensive line. Also very weak defensive line. Looking at the recent head-to-head, they have met twice this year with a total of 7 goals by Mol Alexandra that beat Prestatyn recently. This time, of course, they are coming to meet again, and of course, the home might want to take advantage of the last head-to-head which they had lost 7-0 against Mold. This time, looking at the stand comparison in terms of form, we are going to see that by the home team, of course, this time is still having a very weak line defense, as you can see, and they have conceded 13 goals for 5 events played. Its opponent, on the other hand, based on recent events they have had, have proved that they sit here on the 7th position with an offense which proved to be average, and they are good, but the defensive line is also weak. And looking at everything in place, we want to look at 2 major picks in full time. For this particular event, of course, the defensive line of the away is still very weak. And of course, that is the defensive line of Alexandra as compared to Prestatyn. Prestatyn have a very weak defensive line. We want to look at Alexandra to still take advantage of the weak defense line of its opponent, just as in the last head-to-head where it lead by 7-0. This time, of course, we still expect the possibility of more goals. So want to look at 1.5 and 2.5 goal to occur in this match in full time, since both sides defense are not good. And since Prestatyn will also want to take advantage of the last lose, they also want to impress. Therefore, goal probability is what we want to look at. That is 1.5 goal in full time, 2.5 goals in full time as our 2 major picks. And to those of you who want to have access to our handpick event, which we share to members only, especially our top 10 or top 15 list of game predictions based on goals and corner kicks probability, then you want to make sure to join the Level 2 Pro plan. The link is below this video description. You want to make sure to click, navigate, and join to become a member and start to have access to all of these. Good luck and see you again in the next upload, and bye-bye for now.